Are we live? Last time I did this, I was live before I knew about it. Okay. I know there's 0 of you watching right now, but for all those who are watching the VOD, you're welcome for this mustache. This was my wife. All right, and now I need to take a picture for Instagram. It'll be a little bit different, or it'll be like there you go. I won't be, because last time I took a picture, it was the thumbnail. I just want to make sure, is there anything on the screen? There you go. I'm streaming. I'm streaming. Streaming on YouTube. Come watch the new UI. New UI and me releasing. Come. Please curve pathways. No, it's not. Hold on. Curve paths are not coming on this. I'm streaming on YouTube. Come see the new UI and hang while I write the release notes for curve pathways are not here yet. I'm sorry. Love the project. Thank you. I do want, if you're still here, sorry, I'm on my phone trying to, what's the link? Crap. Add a link, right? I do this. Link. I have to like go OpenMarch. I'm like searching up my own YouTube channel. Copy link. And then, boom. All right. Yeah, so your stories. Okay, so should we just find your phone? Okay, so I'm planning, it's not coming this update, but curved pathways are not going to be that difficult. I think were these are in the next update. These are because I had 2 updates in mind, and we're gonna post like a roadmap soon. But we have 2 major things that we need to get over, like that are big projects, and one is curved pathways and follow the leader, and the other is shapes, so like circles, squares, and stuff like that. And so those are 2 very different problems, and 2 things that aren't really just a bug fix. It's like we have to add a lot of stuff to OpenMarch to make that work. And with curve pathways, I also want to add like changing where the marcher can leave on a beat by beat level, not just on a page per page level. But while we are here, I need to make sure I don't like accidentally leak everything. How do people, I don't get how people stream this. That's awesome. All right. I'm gonna do a good old @ everyone on Discord. I feel like people hate it when I do this, but minor updates. Watch live streaming the new UI. Live streaming the new UI. I always have to add emojis to it. Come hang and watch me write release for watch do people actually have this? I guess not. I feel like I shouldn't be pinging everyone. You know what, that's fine. I'll just do a minor announcement. I just don't, man. For shapes, given any thought to the way the order of the marchers, I thought it would be neat to be able to control that, could mess around and see you making a plugin. So, well, actually, yeah, I'm curious what a plugin would look like, or as in you are more than welcome to create a plugin, or try to make a plugin. But I have, sorry, I'm typing and talking. Streamers are really good at this. I'm not. Ordering the marchers. So one thing that we are trying to think about is the problem of getting a marcher from point A to point B. So let me go into like a, what was this called? It was called like, there's like a piece of software you can use to, that's not what I meant. It's called like Excalidraw, okay. So let's go here. Can you see this? Perfect. Well, first off, let me get ASCII art generator. What should we say? This is 0.0.11. Oh God, that's horrible. Some of this stuff just isn't even good. .0.11. There you go. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I brought this up so I can, whoa, that's not what I want at all. You almost saw my password manager. That would have been horrible. It's this, copy this. Whoa. All right. So we need, and then we're gonna do this. Writing release notes for, v0.0.11 show off the new UI. Answer questions. And here about answer questions. Answer questions. Ask about new features. All right. So when we have shapes, let's say you have a marcher. Let's say you have this line, and on it you have a bunch of marchers, deep, 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 and let's assume they're all perfectly aligned, like that. This shape is now, well, files, files from 0. All files should transfer over. But you should download 0.0.10 because I don't think they would directly open. I think you need to open it in 0.0.10 or 0.9 first. If you have trouble, just email me, please. That we changed how we were organizing our database. Okay, so when we go from here, from this, oh, that's not good. We go from this to this. This is page 1, and this is page 2. There's a lot of stuff in the middle that is tricky to figure out. So the problem is there's a lot of ways that you could do this. Let me get this here. All right. How do I? There we go. There's a sloppiness indicator. All right. So let's be this sloppy. So God dang it, that's not what I wanted at all. There we go. This is kind of crazy that this is free. Writing open source software, you kind of are like spending all the time that I've spent with OpenMarch. It's kind of been crazy how it's kind of been, you could do like minimize pathways and present. It's just been crazy like how much time I've put into this project that like there's a lot of other stuff that's like free, like Audacity. And Audacity is a much more complicated application than OpenMarch, and I just think there's people like me who can't stop working on something, just floating around there. So there's a few ways you could do things. You could either wrap, that's not what I wanted, stroke width. You can either wrap these around so it goes like that. You could do that. That's way one. You could go down like this. You could, actually, I think that's the only two ways I would do that. You could do that. But basically, like, there's a lot of different ways we can go about doing this, and what I'm thinking is having a handful of like deterministic algorithms. What I mean by that is it's not going to be like some fancy AI thing or thing that's like, we're going to really guess. It's going to be like, this is a closest marcher to the new dot algorithm. This is a maybe an order of X and Y coordinates, like from left to right and based on left and right of the next one. But the real deal is that like how we figure out those pathways is going to need a lot of thought put into it, because if OpenMarch tries to be smart about it, whenever software tries to make a decision for you, that means we have to be confident that the decision that we are making is the right one. What I mean by that is, how many times have you ever used like PowerPoint or Word or something, and you know exactly where you want something to go, but it's making a choice for you, and you're like, I don't want this choice, I want something else, I want to put it into manual and do this myself. And the fact is that some apps don't give you that manual mode, and you're just kind of stuck with whatever stupid thing the app decided that it thinks you want. So what I've tried to do when developing OpenMarch is start with this manual mode first, which is very bad in a lot of ways. Like, currently you have all the control that you want because there isn't really a lot of shape options. You can just kind of move things around. But what I like about that is that it always gives designers the choice with whatever features we decide to implement, with whatever we decide to add to OpenMarch. If they're like, I don't, hello, Acorn. If whatever they decide to do is, if they're like, I don't like what OpenMarch is doing, you can just pull it out and just plop in your own thing. And what I'm hoping to do with this as well, can I make a new page? I'll just do this. What I'm hoping to do with this as well is not only will we have like boxes, not only will we have like boxes and circles and diamonds and like curves if we want them like curves, but I also want to be able to support SVG. What is SVG? If you don't know what SVG is, it basically is it's what a PDF is made out of, basically. It's just anything that is a vector representation of something. And so like this curve, for example, can be stored as a vector image, but additionally, your college logo can be stored as an SVG image. Your high school logo can be stored as an SVG. What is a lattice? Like, are you talking about like people like going? I think I know what you're talking about. Like what's it called? Like people being offset, and then that's another thing. Like it's pretty easy. If we have a shape like this, that's easy because all we have to do is distribute marches along this. Outline shape equals easy. But if we have a shape like this, where it needs to be filled in, then we get to a few trouble spots because it could be filled in like this. I need to get the stroke a bit higher. It could be filled in like this. You get what I'm going at? Like we could fill it in like this, or we could fill it in like this. And I think this is what you're talking about with a lattice. And really, this is just going to depend on what algorithm we do. So, and well, I mean, like how many marches you have available. Filled shape equals hard. Rectangle with people splitting the yeah, I think that's what she mean. Could do the classic approach for creating a shape. Basic powerful happens you can expect to fail. Yeah, and well, that's the thing is that like equals not as easy. Because like this might be easy. Build shape rectangle equals fine. But then once we have something where it's like we have like this, where it's like a weird thing like this is much harder. Oh, really? So just have two, yeah. Yeah, no, well, that's with the box. That's easy. With the box, that's easy, and I think that's obviously what we're gonna go with. It's this that I'm worried about, but I also think I'm just saying that to procrastinate it. So that's just my fault. Okay, but we're here for a thing. We were writing the release notes for this release, so. I have just drafted a release where I explained, here we go. This isn't obviously what we're going to be doing. I think learned about an algorithm for filling a complex shape. I forgot about it, but involved. Yeah, oh wait, that's a good idea. Maximizing the distance. You know what, I'm writing that down. You know, I'm gonna do another one of these. Chat bangers. Maximize the distance between marchers filling a shape. Well, yeah, but these are, I mean, for biology, like, I'm sure it works. Cool. Well, as in, like, I just hadn't thought about that before, and I want to make sure I remember that. Automatically work for rectangles too. Yeah, it would work for rectangles. Okay. Gosh, we have 7 viewers right now. This is awesome. I feel famous. I farted and it smells really, really bad. Okay, let me make this bigger so you can see it. All right. So now, crap. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Close active tabs. Why the heck? This was close window. Oh, close all editors. There we go. Okay. Let's call this 11 release MD. Why did this go in launch page? Whatever, we're not actually putting this anywhere. Can you freaking... Oh, God, okay. Okay. Nope. This is a good picture. I forgot this is here. Oh, this is also what we're watching on, listening to on YouTube right now. Where is... I made sure to close out all of my windows, though. You guys aren't doxing me. This is not at all what I wanted. Edit. Here we go. Perfect. So now, now that we have this, we need to slim it down. Let's see what Cursor has to say about this. No. Okay. Can you slim down this release into digestible parts? I just want to do a blank filtering. You forgot to add a paywall for .books by the... Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Eventually, once everyone's hooked on OpenMarch, we're going to charge $5 per dot and page. And that's like it's an exponential thing. So like if you have 100 marchers, that's $500 right there. And then if you have 5 pages, well, that's 5 times 500. So it's exponential. I'm expecting to get a lot, or to see a lot of very good profit from that. I'm excited for that. Okay. Developer infrastructure. Okay, here we go. In Markdown. Here we go. All right, and now that the AI did it, so we had a lot of features. Let's open it. Let me make sure everything is good. Up to date, perfect. So we have a lot of things. Oh gosh, you know, this is a really, really good problem to have. I was telling my wife this. I got married, by the way, which is awesome. I would highly recommend marriage. but I was telling her because she's gonna help us write like the tutorials and everything, and I was like, oh my god, I can't keep track of all of the new stuff that we've added because it's just been like it's been constant. Like it's been like I'm like I log off of work and I like close 5 or 6 issues. We constantly have these pull requests going. Um, Druva, I don't know if he's in this chat, but he's like pushing a bunch of stuff. Duck is pushing a bunch of stuff, and it's just like it is so much change and so much improvement so quickly. Like if we look at the I need to show you guys this. I was looking at the I'm gonna make sure I don't dox myself first. Oh no, these are public. These are public. But I was looking at the like insights for like the commit traffic. Okay, well this is pretty underwhelming, but or at least this chart. But like it's just in this past like month and a half, it's just like skyrocketed. It's just like this is what it was back in like December, and like now it's just so much code. Like so much is going through, and there's so much new stuff. And I think anyone can see this if you look at insights on the get some product. Oh no, it's not me complaining. Yeah. It's not me complaining about it. It's just like this is a good thing. I mean like as in like I can figure out everything that's happening because everything that we're doing is in a pull request. So if I'm like, what happened? Then I just look at the pull requests. But like there's just so many. What'd you even say? Linear. But there's just like so many things that we fixed that like when I was making updates, it used to be like these 3 things are getting fixed. Like you can now add marchers, but like now we've like added a whole opt-out thing, like a reporting guide pop up for opting into analytics. Dependabot was added. That was great. Core Clash partnered with us. That's awesome. The UI redesign, which I know you've been working on for a while. Just like all of these things. Small commit. Yeah. What did you say, Tyler? Have you thought about using an opt-in payment system like it's free, but you can pick to donate? Yeah. Oh gosh, it is getting hot in here. We have a Patreon. Like, here, let me show you the new UI. Because that's not right. Although I think like an opt-in thing, like you're saying, like when you like download, what is it called? WinRAR. I mean, but WinRAR like tries to get you to pay. Like they're not. That's not opt-in. But like if when you download it, it's like, oh yeah, here you go. Anyway, or like when you download it, it's like, this is free. Would you like to give us like $5? I think that's a good idea, actually. Certainly have been approaching. Like, I mean, Alexia, I know you're on the stream. Like, and Duck, when they downloaded it from the page, because eventually people are going to have OpenMarch accounts. Like we say, hey, thanks so much for downloading. You don't have to, but if you'd like to shoot us $5 or $10 or $20, like here's a Stripe link. Maybe like with Stripe, you can even use Apple Pay. Like, you're not really getting anything except donating to us because that might be that kind of quick thing people might want to do. Because yeah, we have the Patreon and merch here and everything, which you can donate to. But oh my God, look at this ugly guy. We need to. Oh crap! Did you see that? We need to update the Patreon cover photo. It's still using the old one. Okay, but let me get to the new UI. So that did a great job. Now there is a launch page where you can actually view all the files. There is a learn page where you can see. Here, let me go into full screen for you. Well, actually, I'll do this. There's a learn page, so you can have some sort of centralized place for all of the tutorials. And what I really, really love about this page is that there's all this blank space here. Meaning that we're hoping to add like a lot of services and features and other stuff, hopefully connected with the internet eventually. And we can add that all here, and it can sort of be like a hub for all of the things that you're doing. But actually, I do agree with you, John. I like the animation of the gradient, and maybe we can add something like that back. And you also have a like files page, like a recently opened files. It doesn't just open your last file. So you go into settings, same thing, light and dark. You have zoom sensitivity, all of these things that we had before. The plugin system that John built. And now you actually get this pop-up when OpenMarch launches. I've checked. But we have implemented post-hog, session replays, and Sentry, which we've already had. But now we've actually gone ahead and put it in we've made a privacy policy. It's not on the website yet. But you are going to have to click to opt into this. We're not automatically assuming that you want us to collect this data. And of course, all this data is solely just used for OpenMarch to better ourselves because we're all volunteers. We're not going to sell it or anything. But having this sort of analytical data of how people are using OpenMarch, like what buttons are they clicking the most often, how are they using it, what bugs are they running into, that really helps us, like as a team of volunteer developers, just figure out what is going on with how people are using this, since we can't launch a bunch of like complicated user surveys. But yeah, we have both light mode and dark mode. I have not been keeping up with the chat. My screen is white. OMG, the gray. Yeah, I don't know who would want that. Like, how could? Tyler says, "Bro, how could you sell this data? Like, who wants it?" I could not give you a single thing that there's no targeted advertising that I could possibly imagine this would go towards. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So we can open a recent file. Let me exit just so you can see. It actually displays these previews here, which is so awesome. I think it's super cool. But you can open a recent file, and you'll see that all of these things have now gotten just way, way better. And I think I'm going to do a full tour of this so we can make this into a VOD. But now a lot of these things have just gotten way better. So let me zoom in so you can see. So first thing that you'll notice is that we have what's it called? Like a ribbon bar up here with tabs where you can go to each feature. So now rather than having a super cluttered and crowded top bar, we have an alignment bar, a view, and file bar. And like I said with the launch page, there's a lot of empty space here for us to expand into new menus. And I'm imagining we'll have like a shape menu, maybe like an engraving menu, like all sorts of things, so that the tools that you need are in a sensible place and you're not getting overwhelmed all at once. So in file, it's all the things you'd expect. This is where you can get the settings, same thing that we had before. The export, the drill charts have actually been, export requires that the fields property leads into one need to, yes. Wonder why it needs that. So now this has been overhauled so that it is, let's see, export here. Click to open folder. Don't dox me. Perfect. So now this has been overhauled rather than it just being just a like blank grid. Thanks to Druva, we have like the page stuff is on, all of this. Very basic stuff, but it was just something that we needed, and now we have. So that's cool. App settings, I showed you that. Our alignment tool has all of the things that you had. This is where our coordinate rounding menu is now. You can click to choose where you want what you want your coordinates to be. So let's say it's 1. Oh, I forgot I'm in trackpad mode. Let me switch out of trackpad mode. There you go. Okay. So now our coordinate rounding is to the nearest single step. We have that, and then if we wanted it to be to the nearest 2-step. Oh, Druva's here. Hello. It's to the nearest 2-step, and it's like that. All these are the things that they were here. Place marchers, place selected marchers, all very good things. Oh God, I forgot that this was part of 0.0.11. Now we have rotation. So you can rotate the marchers like this. And if you see on the side here, it's going by every 15 degrees. But if you hold shift, it goes slow and goes to rather than every 15, you can like make it a finer adjustment. This also works. I think I want to change this icon to be a rotate icon. And you can also stretch out the group. So for example, if I rotated this group, let's say 45 degrees, let's do negative 45. And then I took them and I'm like, okay, now I want to squash them and tighten them, then rotate them again. But let's do a fine adjustment. Boom, that works. And then you can, of course, fix it up. And boom, there you go. So another thing that we have that has been added, and this was a big oversight on the previous update, but say you have a shape like you're used to, now these shapes move with the coordinate rounding. So you'll see that they're snapping to every 2 steps, and the endpoint dots do that as well. And again, if you hold shift, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. They're snapping to every 2 steps, and again, if you hold shift, it'll go in between them. This works even with curves. So if we have a double curve like this, let's spread this out. The control point for the curve is also rounding to that, but again, if you hold shift, you can set it to whatever you want. We don't have rotation available for this yet. That's something that I want to fix in the shape update. It's going to be a little bit of internal logic to figure that out, but we'll get to it. And then view, we have next path, previous path. Oh, we have these halfway dots, thanks to Druva. Thank you so much. You can easily get rid of grid lines and half lines here. So that's awesome. Now, the sidebars that we have, what used to be like marchers and all that, are these icons on the right here, which I'll zoom in a bit so you can see. We have these icons here. Yeah, so we have marchers, which is, as you'd expect, marchers. Music, which there hasn't really been much change in this. Oh, wait, although we have added back music XML file import. Sorry, again, thanks to Druva, who not only made the parser, but implemented it into the app. So that is super awesome. I think a lot of people are going to prefer to do this. So like, for example, if I have my Washington Post march, boom, it's just 132, and that just works. And there's also a link. I don't think this goes anywhere yet, but all over the app, we're probably going to have links for going to the documentation once we update the documentation for them to go to where it is on the website. And then the field customizer has been touched up and fixed thanks to Duck. So we have now, this is what you saw before, but when you go to the customize page, rather than it being a gigantic mountain of infinite scrolling, you have all the things in very helpful tabs. So you have the general things. These are all like some semantic things, the half line interval. So if I made this 5, yeah, look at how horrible that looks. But we have like checkpoints, all the stuff that we have before. For some reason, my scrolling is not working. Uh-oh. What if I refresh? Scrolling is not working on this. Okay, we'll fix that in a second. Let me put a sticky down for that. Scrolling does not work on field editor. Wonder why that's happening. This was working before. Okay, so we have this. We have our image options, and we have, yeah, that's what I thought. We have our image options and we have our themes. So all of these are in separate menus. So that is pretty much, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The timeline didn't really change. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. This is the best part of the new update, in my opinion. Duck has made, so the timeline down here looks way better. This is where like the play and pause stuff is. You can do this, all of that. But you can now, there is now a preview mode. There's now a preview mode where you can go into full screen. And now everything is cleared and you can just play and watch your show. And this, currently we don't have like video exporting or anything like that. But we do have a perspective mode which is going to be awesome to view your show from that perspective. They're not 3D models or anything like that. Like there isn't anything popping out of it yet or anything. 3D mode is probably going to be like a different beast that we're going to need to make 3D models for. But this is a great, if you just want to like view your show from a just like a perspective like that, it's going to be great. Okay, so I am going to, from this, we need to we need to make release notes of what changed. So here's what we'll do. We'll use this as a base, and we're gonna go. We're gonna separate this into different chunks. So first, let's just make this Jeff, because then this linter is gonna go away. There we go. Okay, perfect. So let me also put my chat into another window. There you go. Oh, no. I'm not going to release it at the end of the stream. I just found I was planning on it. But if you really want to, I'll drop this link in the chat. This is public. You can try to download. You can download this right now if you would like, in this 0.0.11-B. It's not built for Windows yet, so if you want a Windows build, you're gonna have to wait until the release. But you saw a few more things. Okay, so then I'm going to make the basically what's happening this stream is we're making the release notes, and I also want to try and knock out like any tutorials or documentation on the website to kind of show people how that works. And then Duck is also going to fix anything that he might want to fix. And I also have to tell my Helldivers chat that I am going to sign off or 9 work. Okay. So first thing is first, I am going to run to the bathroom super quick. I will BRB. I am back. I also have to finish the website. So, okay, great. Then we have to, then in that case, this is good. Because I was going to release 0.0.11, and I thought we are really behind on documentation. So I think it is better if we, this is internal meeting for all 6 viewers of you, which I'm pretty sure most of you are on the team, or all of you, honestly. I think I need to make the release notes, and I need to make more documentation. And also, I want to add some coordinate rounding things. But yes, cool. We will release this when we do. All right, so first things first. So we're going to say, I want to say release highlights, UI redesign. And then we're gonna make some emojis. No! UI redesign, paint. or nails. Let's do this. Okay. Thanks to there has the code is the documentation. Yeah. Yeah. This is really bright. You know, it actually is good that I'm getting my wife to do the documentation, because she'll like use OpenMarch and will be like, well, how do I do this? And I'm like, I've been entrenched in the code for so long that it almost seems, everything seems obvious to me, like that it's, of course this is how you would do this. You're not even thinking about how the beats are being handled. Like, well, there's all these beats are individual in the back end. Like, there's no way you could, like, of course they're not thinking about that. No user is thinking about that. Yes. Okay. So the UI has had a major. I also I rejected the urge to write everything with AI, because when, like, I'll show you. I made AI write one page on our site, and I just think it like sticks out like a sore thumb. So like when there's like this page that we have for like submitting feedback. How do you do this? Like, what's an issue? First of all, there's like these emojis everywhere, which I guess are fine. Like emojis inherently aren't a problem, but this just smells. This just smells like ChatGPT. Like, look at all the list and look at all these things. And like, granted, yeah, this information just needs to be there, but it's like, it's too happy. Like, do all you ever think, that's the one page I pointed out. Do y'all ever think like this, like that ChatGPT is just like too happy? Like it's too excited, it's too positive, and it's everything is everywhere. Like every time I ask ChatGPT anything, it's ask Copilot how to make documents. It like every time I ask ChatGPT anything, even if it's like code or no, even if it's like a life thing or like a code like architect question, it always without fail will start and say, you're not alone in thinking that this thing is confusing. It can be very frustrating your first time. It always says you're not alone in thinking. It's like aggressively, you can customize this trace, but yeah, it's just like it's aggressively like empathetic, which I don't like. And so I could put a lot of work in like adjusting the system prompt of like Gemini or some, or like adding a on top of the system prompt and trying to change the temperature of everything and make it and just make it less AI-y. But I don't know, like I don't think OpenMarch has so many things that it's not hard to just make this stuff ourselves. Like we're not like a gigantic, it always tries to agree with you. It does always try to agree with you. Do you guys like see on, I don't know if you can see this, if it's just on my am I gonna dox myself if I show you this? No. Yeah, on my thing, it has like these crown things, like saying who's number one. John, you're a number one fan. Duck, you're a number two fan. Alexa, you were a number one fan, but you're not even on there anymore. Who's number three? Aluminous is a number 3 fan. Good job. Okay, yeah, but it smells like AI. Has had a major overhaul. OpenMarch. OpenMarch is now less cluttered, more user friendly, and way easier and more delightful. More delightful. I don't know if I love that, but whatever. Okay, because it is delightful. I'm happy. So let's give him some screenshots. Hit him with some screenshots. Oh wait, I need to be doing this in GitHub, don't I? Crap. Yeah, I do. Okay, one sec. Because if I don't do this in GitHub, then it won't save the images. I forgot. Here we go. No. God, freaking lettuce. Stop. Boom. All right, let's put this here. Can you? I just don't care about this. Thank you. All right. Let's give him some screenshots. The UI shouldn't change. No, John, you're right. This is like now. I'm pretty sure we're done with all of the major, unless Duck has anything to say about it. Pretty sure we're done with all the major, friggin' giant commits. I was looking at it just because it was funny the other day. Is this gonna reset? Yes, it does. Okay. I was looking at it because it was just funny, but the UI redesign, pull request. Oh no, this was fine. This isn't that bad. Okay, but 139 commits is kind of crazy. Oh, what was it? Was the mono repo one was gigantic. I remember we were like doing the mono repo stuff while we were like trying to redo the database. It was kind of crazy. The first one was bad. We've had 4 redesigns. I mean, I was looking at it earlier. Let me see. Like the OG OpenMarch, that was oh wait, it's on the website. Hey, watch my head cam. It's like way down here. Check this out. It's so blurry. Like, look at this. I mean, honestly, like the canvas itself hasn't changed too much, which could be a good or bad thing. But like everything here was bootstrap. It was so weird. And the like horrific gray that we had. These are the days. I remember staying up so late. And all the marchers stacked up on top of each other. I didn't even fix that. That wasn't me. That was Jake that fixed that. Yeah, this is kind of crazy this is the new UI. When I was writing that was like back when it was Ruby on Rails. That was so weird. All right, okay, I'm getting distracted. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Tabs in the top bar. Let me make this tabs in the top bar. Now, no more cluttered top. On the top, now everything is divided to a sensible menu with plenty of room for new features. Cool. And then this is how I do this. So we're gonna put this here And I am just going to give it a good old record. Wait, can you guys still see me do this? Yes, you can. All right, stop. I was worried the stream would stop. Actually, let's make this a bit bigger. Record. And then we put it into this screen recording, this one. And then it makes a GIF. But not the one that's 100 megabytes big. All right, here we go. This is called GIFSKI, GIFSKI. We make GIFs with this, and then this is what I put into Discord. And I copy 280 kilobytes, wow. And then we're going to see what that looks like. No, it could be a little bit better. Let's make it original. No way. Oh, there we go. I was about to say 107 megabytes. There's no way. Guys, this stream has had 34 total views. When I'm rich and famous, I'll remember you guys. 34 people. Perfect. Next. Wait, what does this look like? Tabs in the top bar, no more cluttered. Yeah, that's good. Okay, get rid of this Jeff stuff. What else? Tabs in the sidebar. The inspector has been yanked over to the right to align with creative software with of creative software. In its place, you can find a menu for icons to launch edit modals for edit menus for marchers, music, and the field. I don't know why I capitalized those, but all right, let's get another recording in there. So we're going to record. GIFSKI, where'd you go? Here it is. Copy. Oh, 1 megabyte. Awesome. Let's see what that looks like. Cool. Can you? God dang. Oh, let's save this draft, by the way. Save. Don't want that to delete. You know that's not auto-saving. Let's see. Preview mode. Oh, wait. Launch page. That should be the first thing that we put in. Launch page. Rather than dropping you into your most recent file, OpenMarch now welcomes you with a launch page. From here, you can open recent files, adjust settings, and view tutorials. In the future, there will be a lot more here. There'll be a lot more here for designers and directors to take advantage of. All right, GIF time. Can I get a shout out for GIF time? Is that what streamers do? They like say, can we drop a GIF time in the chat? Perfect. All right. GIF time. Did you see that resolution? That was some weird stuff. It was like 1738 by 1036. Boom. Oh yeah, look at how it's like making the gradient all weird. You see that? Is that just my screen? That's totally, no, it's like totally a compression thing. That's weird. Very weird. Very weird. Okay. It has burn-in. The GIF has burn-in. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Okay. Sorry. Just like moaned into the mic. Tabs in the sidebar. Got that. We got that. And now we talk about the perspective mode. What did you call this? This was like full screen or something? Perspective? No, I would call it like, or it's like preview mode. Show preview mode. Full screen view. Let's do that. That's a better. Full screen view. When you're done writing the next championship show. No, it's cheesy. I'm not going to say that. When you're done writing your show. Yeah, full screen is good. When you're done writing your show, there's now a full screen preview mode where you can get the rest of the UI out of the way. Additionally, there's a 3D perspective view for you to see the show at a realistic angle. Additionally, gift time. You guys better say it. I'm not gonna ask you to again. Or I'm not gonna beg. Gift time. No way this is 23 megabytes. Shut up. You are not being realistic. I bet this is going to be like 2 megabytes. $14 megabytes! Okay, maybe it doesn't need to be that big. This is going to be like a whole ass gigabyte to load this release. Good thing GitHub is hosting it. 5 megabytes, I can live with that. How do they even, I don't know how GitHub affords this. Their Azure bill must be crazy. Okay, let's save this draft. I think that's all with the new UI. That's like, we want to, because obviously there's a ton of small things here and there. Let's see. Got that. Inspector on the side, but they can kind of see that. All right, yeah, I think that's it. Doc, let me know if there's something else that you would like me to add. Shape animation. UI redesign. What would I call this? I would call this group. I'd say alignment. Yeah, thanks, Driva. I'm gonna write a bunch of stuff in here about the stuff you did. There's a lot of stuff in here. Alignment improvements, or ease of use, or group marcher editing. Now, rotate and stretch. Now, you can stretch and rotate a group of marchers to edit them in bulk. Note, this feature does not currently work on shapes. Okay. Man, there's 6 of you in here. Sponsored by Owala. This water bottle changed my life. It fits in a cup holder. And if you thought my water bottle was my only wallet item, it's also where I get my coffee from. Highly recommend it. I like both of them better than Yeti. Okay. Took the straw out of their Owala. So they just chug it. That's funny. I mean, I guess if you're like a chug person, that's Owala's great for that. I think it's the best chugging bottle. Not that I use it. I've never really used it for chugging, but I guess I could. It's not big enough for that, or mine isn't. It's only 30 ounces. Okay. Now you can stretch to edit them in bulk. Gift time. Let's see. There's something funky going on with the zooming. It's like, it's not really working that well on the mouse for some reason. Is it my MX, like it like stutters for a second? Is there an OpenMarch purple? No, the only purple one I could see. Thank you, gift time. The only one I could see was this like light purple, which was close. I didn't see OpenMarch purple though, like that like strident regal purple. Gift time. Oh, and Keycaster. This is a cool little plugin that I found that lets you, it shows you the keys that I'm pressing. But I'd really like it to clear so I can start the recording. Cool. Weird. God dang it. Why is everything you do purple? It's funny. Record. I don't love the location of this thing. I'm also going to make it so the whole window is viewable. There you go. Okay. All right, let's see how much this is. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Cancel. Open. Okay. Let's get out of this Keycaster thing. Convert. Man, this is why I'm bad at writing documentation, or like why I keep procrastinating it, because I know I'm going to be doing it for a long time. Should this be inverted? Wait. Like, should it be... I guess I'm thinking of like a circle. Should this be... When you want to rotate something 15 degrees... I guess I'm like thinking of it in radians. I don't know. Like, should this be 15 degrees or should this be 15 degrees? Because I think this is what Fabric stores. Fabric stores this, like Fabric, the library that stores everything, stores this number. So when I say I'm going to rotate something 15 degrees, does that mean I'm going to rotate it down? Whatever. I don't think it matters that much. I think people are going to like move it a little bit and be like, okay, whatever. Okay. Oh, how'd that GIF end up? 1.4 megabytes, 1.9 megabytes. Perfect. Let's see how that looks like. Group, rotate and stretch. Groups now snap to group coordinate snapping in v0.0.10. We introduced coordinate rounding for individual marchers. Now the rounding setting also applies. Where'd I go? To shapes. All right. Let's make this 2. Oh, now I want the keycaster again. No, not the password manager. Gift time. Sorry, just in case any of you missed it. New one. That one said it was going to be 299 megabytes. That's crazy. Am I playing Helldivers tonight? Locked in for this. Yeah, just LMK. I'm good for later. Cool. 6 megabytes. These things are just randomly big. And then after this, stretch. I do want to show you all something, you people on the stream. If you're locked out right now, or if you aren't really paying attention, I want you to pay attention now to see something cool that's happening that I put in, that I've wanted to put in OpenMarch for a very long time. There's this problem when developing graphical focused software. If you've ever done computer science, you know what a unit test is. You can be like assert, like if we do parser.test test.ts. like you can basically expect this result to be less than 0, and it's pretty, these are pretty simple. It's like expect the result to be less than 0. Like when we're dealing with numbers and data like that, it's like pretty easy to come up with unit tests for what things should look like, how they should be stored. When you're dealing with a graphical user interface, it's a lot harder. You can be like grab by this, you can be like grab if it has this text, and you can type all that out. But there's this tool called Playwright, which is used to like automate browser interactions, that has like a recorder for you to do these things. So if I'm like here, and I actually have no idea if this is going to work because I haven't tested it recently. Yeah, I was looking at screenshots, but screenshot comparison is not very good for the situation that we're in right now. I actually was looking into MuScore's approach, because if we did screenshot comparison, we'd have to change it like a lot. And especially with MuScore, they have a lot of notation stuff. So like a lot of stuff is like how the note head appears is very dependent on things. So we're not actually that interested in the pixel by pixel level of if something is correct. In fact, we're interested in how the data is being manipulated. Is it showing up on the canvas? Is it being populated both on the canvas here, in local state, in the database, all of those things. So if you look here, and if you're like familiar with coding, this might be very basic for you, but this blew my mind. You can just press record, and now when we go around OpenMarch, it says get by roll by button, and then we can say add, click true, and then click section, and it lists this box, and you can create marchers, double click, and then you can just press create marcher. Oh wait, I actually have to click a section. Bass clarinet, create bass clarinet marcher, and then you can say expect by text, assert that the text contains bass clarinet. And so we can very easily repeat this back. Or not. But basically we just copy and paste that code into our tests. So the tests that I have right now aren't really doing too much because we just changed the UI, but they are making sure that every page renders correctly. So if I run what's called E2E, which means end to N, it's going to launch an instance of OpenMarch, and it's constantly checking for things. Sorry, I just dropped my mouse. Like it just rolled off my desk. So what it's doing right now is it's launching new instances of OpenMarch, and it's checking for certain things. So you might be able to like catch it really quickly, but that one, it just like flipped through all the tabs. This one, it flips through all the sidebars. That one, it flipped through the settings modal. That one, it flipped through all of the sidebar tabs. That one flipped through all of the field properties. And then boom, that's 8 tests that are passed. So if we look at this test, if we want to give it a look, this one, here, I'll make this a little bit more visible. This one, assert that the launch page is visible. We basically launch an Electron app with an empty file with no files, and assert that we see welcome to OpenMarch. And in here, what's really cool about Playwright is the problem when trying to do all this stuff yourself is that sometimes it takes a second for things to load. So Playwright has a built-in like a wait. It uses a wait to wait for a little bit for something to show up. Same thing with this, with submenus. This is checking the Learn tab to make sure all this stuff renders. And all this is to just make sure when we click on stuff, it's not like we're not just getting a blank screen. Yeah, all of these things. And eventually I want to, you'll notice that when I was in like a code gen mode, there was this thing at the top here saying Playwright code gen mode, recording test actions. That's because I think I commented them out, but I made a system where it listens to what the mouse is doing on the canvas, like when you move it, because you can actually, it's very good at doing stuff that's in the DOM, like finding buttons, but on the canvas, it goes by pixel. It goes by click at 0, 0 and click at this. Like you can put an object detection algorithm in there, but that's pretty complicated that's not really going to help us in our use case. So we can click by individual coordinates. And what I eventually want to do is I really want to like test like a rotation interaction, test like moving a bunch of marchers, doing that, and asserting that it all exists in the database. And rather than like typing all of the data, I want to have a sidebar here that says take a snapshot, and then it'll take a snapshot of the data on the canvas, the data in like global state, and the data in the database. All three things, because the state that we have has to eventually end up in the database, but there's two other places that it needs to be for it to make sense. It also needs to be in global state, that's React state, that's our ZooStamp stores, and it also needs to be on the canvas. Those three can be out of sync, and that's how a lot of the bugs that we have happen. Like when we have, there was that bug that when you rotated, or when you created a shape with a marcher, it wouldn't apply it to the next page instantly. That's because it wasn't refreshing the stores. The canvas had it right, the database had it right, but the stores in the middle didn't have it right. And so that was creating that, like the data was correct and the save file was correct, but what the user was seeing was not correct. And there can be the opposite where, or there can be another case where what the front end is displaying isn't what is actually in the database. And when that happens, the user would, or the designer thinks that something is saved, but actually it's not really persisting in the database. So these three things constantly have to be in sync, or need to be in sync at certain points. Like for example, the database doesn't need to know all of these in-between interactions, like when we're rotating something, but once we let go of that mouse button, the database needs to know about this. And that's why when we undo, it doesn't remember all of these things and only remembers those. Okay, sorry, rant over. But yeah, so that I'm super proud of this. I'm super proud of like getting this in, because just this happening, like having sanity checks for the fact that something rendered, that was not something we had before. It was just something that I had to go in and manually check. And as we remember seeing, like in 0.0.10, sometimes we just created a file and it didn't work. Like it just didn't happen. And this is also using the production build. So it's not using the development build. It's not using anything like that. Like this is what people should be seeing in OpenMarch. And it's pretty fast. You can, there is the ability to run this like in parallel, but Electron isn't really friendly with that. So I don't do it. Okay, sorry. That was all to just wait for this GIF. Okay. Save draft. Developer added end-to-end. Better reliability. This uses Playwright. These use Playwright to simulate user interactions. But eventually, John, if you're still here, I do want to do snapshot tests once we have like a finalized thing. But like with how much stuff is changing, like if we spent a bunch of time doing snapshot tests with the old UI, and we went to this new UI that's way better, we would have had to refactor all those tests. And that goes like that. There's a certain level of that we'll have to do with these tests, but there's this thing called fixtures, which are really, really cool in Playwright. I'll walk you through what one of them is, because I think this is super cool. We can, since everything is an SQLite database, this fixture called Electron app does a few things. So this is creating a temporary database file that is based off of a blank file. And what it's doing is it's copying it and giving it a random unique ID related to just a random ID. It copies it, and then Electron opens that file with the args that, remember, John, that you implemented. So then when it launches this file, it has its own database that is completely separate and won't pollute anything else. So we launch with this file. We redirect the standard out and standard error. And then this basically gives the test now has access to the browser instance, the temporary path of the database file, and the page. And then after the test runs, we close the browser, remove the temporary file, and just say that we removed it. And then if we want to test the launch page or test it without a database, it's the same thing, except we just launch Electron without that temporary file. We just do this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, honestly, stupid there. I've done this a lot at work, like having these mock databases. And so, like, for example, if we wanted to like have a set of tests where we have like this many marchers to start, we can, like, we have this, we know, like, particularly we want to have a file where all of this is set up. We can either, one, create a fixture that does that, like we can add something here that records the action of doing all of this, or we can just provide a file that already has all of this done, and then all of the tests just base themselves off of that file. And so we can really do whatever we want with this. And I'm hoping to get a system in a very defined and easy way to record these tests. So when people make new features, they can record and write their own tests. And it's not just like me doing everything, because what I think is really cool is when you can write a feature and then write a test for it to assure that it always works. Because something that we're finding that happens a lot is when people add new tests, or when plugins happen, or when people start doing plugins, they can mess with global state. And that part of that is just me not doing a great job of protecting global state. But these tests can assure that all of the functions that we have are going to work correctly. And so it's just a whole nother level to, you know, as opposed to just vanilla unit testing. Okay. Issue reporting, new templates, database. Okay. Bugs. Fix shapes, not. Fix lingering. Yeah, that was a bug. That wasn't a bug. Very small. First, last page. Oh, there was another bug that we closed. Let me see, what was it? We have 69 issues. Nice. No one open any more issues. Tooltip. Looks like I didn't really fix too many bugs. Website. Halfway marker. Drill chart. All right, now we're just. Whoa. What the? Okay, I should save before this crashes. I mean, imagine if I kept this in the issue. Let me know if you want a more detailed thing. That would be funny. Quality of life. Okay, music. Drill chart exports. Now include more details than just the page itself. The export modal is also additionally coordinate sheets can be exported for the context of an individual marcher. So what that looks like. Can you not do that? Thank you. Sorry, this is taking a while. Okay, there we go. So we have this. File, export, drill charts. Oh, that's cool. This is cool. Jerva, you did I know you're not on the stream, but you did a really good job with this. Oh, God. All right, let's see what this looks like. I don't want you looking at my files. Can you? Just saw a bunch of downloads. Tax documents. Yeah, I pay taxes. All right. So, sorry, gotta make yourself laugh sometimes, yeah. Oh wow, you even put notes here. That's good, because there is a spot for notes. I just haven't put them in the UI yet, but the database has them. Oh, this is in record mode. This is not a GIF. Do this. This one. Where's the preview? Here it is. Okay. Sorry, I'm going quiet. Screenshot time. Give it a good old, give that good old box. Boom. Give it the good old square. Get the no fill. Have you guys ever been in that there's like a Reddit page where it's like red circle, like very obvious things. Screenshot time. All right, done. Where'd that screenshot go? There you Music XML support. That was right. Okay. So usernames must be unique then. I didn't. Yeah, they are. Okay. Again, thanks. God dang it. Druva. Support for music XML files has been added back. Coordinate. Major improvements. Marker. And then, yeah, this one, let's make this, oh, remember how I said the bug was gone, the bug went away? Yep. Okay. Don't really think we need this. Users. Analytics opt-in modal. Users are now asked to opt into data collection. This is turned off by default. No data will be. This is turned off by default. This cursor keeps moving. By default. And as soon as I see, yeah. Sorry, it was because of that. All right, new users, and then. Oh, I should probably turn off that modal in development mode. Website. Partnerships. We are now partners with Core Clash. This doesn't need to be in the release. Yeah, I can. Their logo can be found on our website. Core Clash. .com. Cool. All right, let's see what this looks like. Honestly, what else did I have on here? That was pretty much what I wanted to get done. Show off the new UI, answer questions. Duck, you're saying you have a lot of stuff you want to fix. That's fine. Cause I think it's good. We have this. We should get some documentation done. Let's fix some. Let's do some documentation. No, not this. Okay. What? Did my stream just break? No, it didn't. Okay. Sometimes it breaks. It breaks when like my monitor disconnects. Okay. All right, let's get some documentation. My biggest enemy. What is this? Oh. This is no longer needed. All right. You know what? I trust GitHub in not losing this. You know what? I don't need to put these nails. New UI and major fixes. I trust GitHub not losing this, but this will make me feel better. Desktop 0.0.11. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Ow. Ugh. Man, I am sleepy. You got this. Okay. Previous tag, auto. Yeah, we'll figure this out later. All right. So here's what needs to happen. First thing we're going to do, clear. We are going to get rid of all this. Git checkout, or since I'm cool, checkout B. Oh, wait, we have a branch for this. Where? What was it called? Oh, this is like broken for some reason. Oh, wait, the scrolling. Do you have the scrolling, Duck, or why that's not working? Is that not working in production too? Yeah, it's not. It's not working on this install. It's weird. Okay. Let me put out a bug for that. Scrolling broken in field properties sidebar modal. Yeah, you don't need to fix it right now. I just don't want to make sure I don't forget. The scrolling for the field does not work in dev or prod. I put in this whole template and I just delete all of it. Cool. I just like issues because it means I don't forget them. And I forget things a lot. Okay. Well, let's ignore. I'm losing a lot of patience with myself right now. Not like with, it's with myself. What is this? Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. Chat, is this true? My laptop is very hot right now. Okay. This is kind of concerning. Hold on. All right, I'm hoping this is... Can't really do anything about it. All right, what's this error? It's lagging a bit, okay. Oh yeah, there's like a... Oh, is this going to be the new site? Am I leaking this? Whoa! Oh my god, I did not. This is the first time I've seen this. Whoa! Sorry, I didn't. I totally. I like forgot that this was the same branch you were working on. But that's fine. Well, this isn't me showing it off. This is me going to the guides. Okay. That was crazy. Oh my god. I'm not gonna spoil all these other things because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff. That was crazy. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm like seeing the stream catch up. I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it. Unless you want me to show it off, Duck. I don't want to like show off your work before it's ready. I just needed to see this. Okay. This is what I was looking at. Like this music system, music troubleshooting. This is no longer right. Yeah, not yet. That's fine. I want to respect like me not showing off stuff that's not ready. Granted, there is only 5 of us here. Music troubleshooting. What should I call this? Importing music tempo. Put music and set the tempo in OpenMarch. Oh, weird. Okay. I'll be right back. I need to grab water. I'm still on the homepage. Yeah, no worries. All right, I'll be right back. Wait, let me switch it to my, that's not what I want, not activity monitor. Let me switch it to just my camera, just in case. Chat, I forgot to ask, do you like the mustache? This was my wife's decision, but she's really chair simulator. This is my wife's decision, but she's really proud of it. Okay, screen front. Also, wait, I'll switch back to this. This tomato here, this is a tapestry I had in my room in college. It's one of my favorite pieces. I don't want to say like it's one of my favorite works. No, that's not it. It's just funny. It's called Therapy with a Tomato, and my roommate and I have spent a long time discussing. It's called Therapy with a Tomato. Are you getting therapy, or is the tomato giving you therapy, or are you giving the tomato therapy? And I just looked, and I look at it, and I'm like, well, the tomato is like, it looks like a good listener. Like, look at its leaves. You can like, there's like a stem there. It's kind of like touching its head. It just looks like an empathetic tomato. So I like to think that you are there for therapy, and the tomato is there to listen to you. So it's back there. So in my work meetings, people can assume that they're being heard because there's a tomato. If I'm not listening to you, at least there's a tomato back there listening to you. Currently, I haven't had any real work meetings with my camera on yet, which is disappointing because I think it's really funny. And none of my work colleagues have seen this mustache yet. The only people who have seen me with this are like my friends and like some grocery store people. And like I always think like when I'm in the grocery store and I have this mustache, like I just feel like such an extra because like this mustache is so unlike me. But it like it I don't know. I just feel like I'm supposed to be driving like a 1998 4Runner or something, which would be awesome. Anyone who drives a car like that is awesome. Okay. So, now that we have a lot of viewers. Oh my gosh, you see that? This is like the That's funny. Sorry. I'm like Okay. I'm focused. We are making tutorials for the music system. So we need to do a few things. I also need to create a new. I know there's like a way to do this that's better than this, but whatever. Or like a way to launch both of these at the same time. But we're going to launch an instance of OpenMarch. There we go. Today, please. Wow, really doing really good on the stream, hey? Oh, there you go. Stop going to full screen. Okay. All right. Music. Okay. Not what I meant. Here we go. All right. What do we even start with? The music system in OpenMarch is divided into 3 parts. Or let's do this. Tempo, importing, set, or no, let's do, this should be one page, setting the tempo, how to set the tempo in OpenMarch, and then another page should be importing music. Importing. Can you guys see this okay? Let me know if you need it to be bigger. Or if I don't know if any of you are actually watching this. Or any actually care about what the text says. Should importing music and setting the tempo be separate things? No, it's easy. They shouldn't be. I'm over complicating this. Bro, this is... Let's just call this music. Importing music and setting... Let's do music. Music and tempo. Boom! Great idea. Sometimes my own genius, he kills me. I would just like to say, it's been 20 minutes since I started this task, and I have not gotten past the title. Yep. I'm not good at writing, or I don't... Am I playing Helldivers tonight? All right, one sec. I will be right back. I'm going to the bathroom again. Or actually, I'm turning on my computer so it can help, so it can start to update Helldivers. Be right back. Haha, there is still 6 of you? Wow, that's awesome. Meeting room 1 in Discord. David, I left so I could download Helldivers. I know you're in this chat. And so now it is downloading. There was an update, so I'm glad I did that. Cool. All right. Importing. You just finished? Okay, great. How much longer do you think? I'm not, John, I'm not joining voice chat in the middle of a stream. Importing music. That would be so weird if I was just like, okay. Importing music. What does OpenMarch support? Audio file selector. That's not what I want at all. OpenMarch suppose. Audio. Your show. Or OGG file. This one. There you go. Or OGG file first. Music in OpenMarch is separated. What was this thing called? Mermaid? Oh, I don't know if I want this. Ooh, can I like make this? To 2 parts. Tempo. The tempos measures Other timing information. Okay. So this, make these into two bubbles that are next to each other on big screens. Whoa. Center the headings. Not what I wanted. Does this even kind of work? The answer is no. You know what? What if I just make this a... Do I have to make this markdown? Probably. I don't know if this is how this works. Like, can I add HTML? Getting started. Pages. CSS and styling. Project structure. Using components. Oh, I guess I could just make it a component. Don't know if cards are what I want. Do I want these to be tabs? No. Component. What if I make this like info bubble? Header data. Cool. I feel like you're rolling and I feel like you're like cringing right now, Jacob, because I don't think this is how I'm supposed to be doing any of this. All right, why isn't this working though? I guess that's just not how Astro works. Or Starlight. That's fine. What does a card look like? Yeah, I think I... Oh, that's not how this works, is it? Unless it is. That's not it. Card. Title. What's audio? Icon. That's not what that is. What are the icons? Oh, here we go. Whoa. Audio. Card. Grid. Data. God, I cannot. Okay. List format. That's not what I want. Set D. Let's do list format. Why is this called happenings? I don't know. Audio. Tempo. Can I put a good old break in here? I can. Perfect. Yeah, this looks fine. Tempos. Importing music. All right, now that we have the header finished. Steps. One. Open the music pad. Open the music sidebar. Steps. Hey, just finished with my drill writer, David Cho. Tell me about the software you're building. It sounds awesome. No way. That's awesome. Thank you for watching the stream. I'm about to play Helldivers with David Cho once he texts me that he's ready. I hope David is a good drill writer. He's one of the best. He was trained by me. For legal reasons, that's a joke. There's kind of this weird... Oh, I understand. That's why. Okay. No, like seriously, I'm ready whenever you are. Oh wait, you were doing that. Okay, hold on. You're saying you're ready now and are waiting on me. Okay, well let me just do one more thing. Gift time. That's not good. I don't want that. Oh, I need a new audio file, don't I? Yeah, that's what I should do. That's not what I want. Import audio file, create music, and let's do... All right, let's make a new file really quick. Music test. There we go. All right. Perfect. So now we can do this. That wasn't good. Import audio files. Oh, this isn't great either. Where'd it go? He said he has to carry. Yeah, I'm literally the best Helldivers player I've ever met. So David's right about that one. Oh crap, now I have to all right, sorry. No, I'm like such a... See, it like fixed it down there. That's not what I meant at all. Music test. Okay. That's not good. There's like a weird thing where you have to click in it, I'm finding out. You have to click in it before it actually starts recording. Are you kidding me? This is a labor of love. that's good. That'll be good. It's got to be good enough. I don't like this. I need a list. There you go. This is probably going to take forever, though. Steps. Open the music tab. 1. Click import. Click the D drop down. Select import audio. From the file pop-up, click import. Refresh the audio. Unless you do this. You know what? I think in this case. All right. Oh, and here we go. So, oh, this is the hard part. Okay. So we copy this. But we have to go to public, docs, guides. We have to make one now. Music. Let me paste it here. And then we call it import audio .gif. Let's make this the original. This should be docs, music. What was it? Import audio GIF. All right, let's see what this looks like. Cannot importing. Oh, guides. Docs, guides. There you go. Check that out. GIF time. Perfect. I don't love this. I wish it was. You know what? In fact, GIF time. Oh wait, I tried to do a reload with this, but it wouldn't work. Wait, now I can totally do this. Index.ts. Audio file. Loading. Then database response. window dot. All right, let's see if this works. Because if this works, we don't need to have the whole refresh song and dance. All right, after this, I think I'm done. Oh, great. So even if I make a new file, where'd it go? Documents. Perfect, that works, okay. So we don't need to click import. The page will automatically. Cool. And then after this, OpenMarch supports importing audio files that importing to add an your show, follow these steps. 1. Perfect. Okay. The tempo. What was the thing where it was like code aside type caution? That's not what I want. Equals caution. The tempo alignment tends to drift playing. Show chunks. Quickly pausing and playing. Tip. Copy. Note tip. Title. Tempo drift. Okay. All right. I am halfway in between this, or I am halfway into this tutorial, but I think I need to log off because if I don't right now, I will never play Helldivers. What did you just push? The beginning of I8N. Oh, is this the John, did you just push the stuff for localization? Is that what this is? Is that what was in the voice chat? It's cool. Is that what that is? I8N. Industrial intern. Oh, yeah. Internationalization. Cool. I'm excited for this. I'd love to see OpenMarch in Japanese and Spanish and German and all these things. This is awesome. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for, sorry, I was like getting locked in at the end of the stream. Thank you all so much for joining. As always, please support us either emotionally by participating in the Discord or fiscally by buying merch or becoming a Patreon supporter. Everything helps. This project is kind of, besides my wife, why I wake up in the morning. I love working on it. I could work on it forever if no one stopped me. But alas, I do need to sleep and also maintain relationships with people. But I love doing this. Cool. All right. Bye-bye.